Hello, thanks for joining. My name is Hamza Asmal, Development Manager and Digitalization Manager at Albaraka Bank, South Africa. Together with my colleague Mohammed Kaka, the bank's COO, we will be sharing our journey of going from thinkers to makers, being enabled by Mendix. So join us. Our story begins some 31 years ago when Albaraka pioneered the introduction of Islamic banking to South Africa. Albaraka started with investment and finance products and later on added transactional banking, foreign exchange, and unit trusts, bringing us to 5 revenue streams that we have today. The bank has grown to a customer base of 60,000, an employee count of 300, and 7 branches managing 8 billion in assets. Our success hasn't gone unnoticed, and the country's biggest banks have opened Islamic banking windows of their own. This created problems for us. The big banks, with their big budgets and big IT teams, were able to leverage the latest in digitalization technology and offer cutting-edge digital experiences. Albaraka lagged these banks. More specifically, our banking was limited to desktop only. Our UI and UX started to look outdated. Our channels were vendor managed, meaning changes couldn't be pushed through quickly and easily. We were siloed, so we had different web channels for different products. And we were dependent on branch visits for onboarding, which in today's post-pandemic world is a big drawback. We knew where we wanted to go. We wanted to be multi-channel, having iOS and Android apps. We wanted to have beautiful and satisfying UI and UX experiences. We wanted to be cloud native so that we could flex and scale at will. We wanted to be open API ready to participate in the open API economy. And most importantly, we wanted to be able to respond to rapid change as it happened. We knew that if the pace of change inside the bank continued to lag the pace of change outside the bank, that we would end up irrelevant and potentially extinct. We certainly didn't want to end up like these guys. You might be wondering what then stopped us from moving forward. Well, truth be told, digitalization when you're small is quite difficult. It's difficult to attract the right skills, and it's difficult to get in place all of the institutional knowledge that's required. We had just a small team of 8 developers, where our competitors would have hundreds, and we had no prior knowledge of how to build an app. On top of that, we were swamped with a backlog of work arising from all of the regulations that came into play from post-pandemic COVID reporting, anti-money laundering, and other similar regulations. We had attempted to remedy the situation by contracting with a digitalization partner, but failed due to a poor contracting experience. Nevertheless, we looked at our options and boiled them down to 3 essentials. First, we could go for software as a service with its alluring promise of going live at the touch of a button. However, we knew that that could be constrictive and put us into a box. We could potentially go for a bespoke solution where a vendor built something to our needs. However, we knew that might be slow and won't allow us to catch up. Or we could go for a middle ground approach using low-code technology, which offered both speed and flexibility. We decided to go for low-code, and having consulted with Gartner, we see that Mendix was recommended as a leader. We got in touch with Jamal Himit, who did a very powerful job highlighting how Mendix brings an all-in-one platform to the table. With Mendix Native and Mendix Web, we would be able to deploy once to both iOS, Android, and web, with large amounts of reusability and massive flexibility. With Mendix Cloud, we would be able to deploy to the cloud at the touch of a button. With Mendix Data Hub and Mendix integrations, we would be able to pull our disparate backends together and get rid of silos. And with Mendix security certifications, we would be able to build with confidence. Best of all, this was available at an affordable price in local currency. That made it a very easy sell to the accountants. Jamal and Rob van Lubeck worked tirelessly with us to address our contractual and commercial concerns. They left no stone unturned and removed all possible objections. At the end, we were just left asking ourselves, what will we make? To answer that, I'll hand you over to Mohammed.
Good morning, and thank you, Hamza, for that build-up. As part of a leadership team of this wonderful community bank, we knew what we wanted. We just didn't have the budget or the resources for it. Our Robin Hood, Dirk, and his merry men came to our rescue. They analyzed the detailed specification documents that we had prepared, and they sized our project accordingly. They considered our timelines and the time that we had lost and proposed the correct number of developers to the team. They reviewed their role that they would ideally play in a delivery team and our budget, and then looked at the Mendix implementation partners globally and found an implementation partner that would best suit the project. In addition, they vetted the CVs for us to ensure that the skill set being proposed by the partner would complement those that Mendix were providing. They then asked us the hard question: what resources would we contribute? And when we made recommendations, they assessed the skill sets of those resources. They brought in a specialist from the Mendix Academy and charted a bootcamp and rapid developer certification course prior to the kickoff of the project. Our team were able to achieve a 90% plus aggregate rapid developer certification and accordingly contribute to the overall team from get-go, allowing our developers to work within this global implementation team that had just been put together. In addition to teaming, our heroes charted a route of victory for us. Milestones were identified and marked. Continuous review of progress made against those milestones were performed. Variations were questioned and allowed where necessary. However, the end date was preserved. A big question for us was, would we accept 80% of 100%, or were we going to go with not implementing 0% of the 80%? We ensured that even though we were able to build, test, and implement 80% of our features within the estimated timelines, these were done with 100% readiness for deployment. The Mendix UX designer, Brenda, allowed us to translate the hours of sketch diagrams into beautiful, high-fidelity mockups that incorporated the best practices in Mendix to allow for easy reuse. Icons, cards, widgets were all painstakingly chosen to ensure that the speed of delivery was to be maintained in later sprints by ensuring that these were defined correctly in the early stages. The Mendix low-code platform then allowed our development team to make these high-fidelity mockups and build a satisfying user experience on a rapid basis. Functionality was added on each sprint, and every demo left the audience with their jaws dropped and in anticipation of the next demo. Features incorporated into the low-code platform was the ability to share created PDFs through default operating system tools and apps like WhatsApp, Gmail, messaging, etc. A further example was the ability to create quick filters and search criteria when navigating large data sets. And like a true fairy tale, in the blink of an eye and a sprinkle of some brilliant styling dust, 300 stories later, 650 feedback items closed, we reached our deadline. As the adage goes, the proof of the pudding is in the testing. Well, for a mobile app, it would be in the App Store approval. Throughout the 8 sprints, Mendix Expert Services referenced the approval standards In fact, it seemed as if the App Store approval was a dragon that needed to be slayed at the end, and hence we meticulously prepared our iOS submission, and 2 days later rejoiced at what our senior developer gasped was the quickest iOS approval ever. In conclusion, 6 months ago, we were brick and mortar, aged and rigid organization. Today, we have moved from on-site to cloud, from face-to-face and limited web to multi-channel. And as a business exec, I now know that soap is not something I use to wash my hands to prevent the coronavirus, and rest is not something we do at the end of a hard day. But that's the way our APIs interact between the core banking system and our Mendix customer portals. Our investment in Mendix Low Code, with its Make It Native component, has allowed us to build beautiful and satisfying customer user experiences within an environment that allows us to respond to rapid change and ensure that the pace of change inside our organization is as quick, if not faster, than the change outside at present. It would truly be a miss if we did not acknowledge the global team that made this happen. To Koos, Han, Louise, and Brenda from Mendix Expert Services, Hassan, Ned, and Teja from Ovetra, and Fayaz and Lindo from Albaraka, congratulations. As a team put together from diverse backgrounds, working completely remotely in different time zones, and for the first time ever, you have proven that Mendix brings dreams to life fast. From Hamza and I, thank you for watching.